Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am tonight happy to be with Anna Mathis from Plume Fiber Arts. Hey, Anna.
Hi,
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm so glad to be speaking with you tonight. Thank you for agreeing to speak with us. Always nice to have a former twist participant.
Oh, I can't wait until we can all be back together again.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Fingers crossed that it will be sooner than later.
Mhm.
So, Anna, for the people who maybe don't know you tonight, do you want to talk a little bit about your parcours and how you ended up? It's me this time who searches my word in for English. Maybe you want to talk to us a bit about how you discovered textiles and what led you to felting and all the other crafts that you do.
So, like probably many of you, I definitely jumped on the fiber train with knitting as a young girl, and one of my teachers actually told me that I couldn't knit in class anymore when I was in high school, and I was pretty fed up about that. And so the next day, I came to school and I brought a drop spindle.
Such a bum.
So I was going to spin my own yarn in class instead. Um, anyway, so from there, my mother brought home a little tiny tabletop loom, and I was so desperate to weave that I made my rigid heddle out of popsicle sticks. And I started weaving and just absolutely fell in love with textiles and the whole thing.
So you just made up the heddle thing by yourself, or
There was a farmer's market in my town where I live in Fredericton, and there was some women there that wove scarves, and they were these chunky yarn scarves. And I talked to them about it, and they were the one who told me this hot tip that I could make it out of rigid heddle. But there was no, or sorry, make it out of popsicle sticks. But there was no YouTube at the time. There was no Pinterest board ideas that other people were doing this, so it was just trial and error of drilling holes and gluing them together. And
that's so nice.
anyway,
Best way to learn.
yeah.
And how old were you? Were you?
When I started weaving, I was 15.
So crafty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so weaving took a big place for you in your textile journey.
Yeah, so weaving, my passion for weaving led me to the New Brunswick College of Craft and Design, where I was a student. I graduated from the Fine Craft Fiber Arts diploma program there, and my focus was on weaving. But while I was at the school, there was two felting courses, sort of a beginner felting and an advanced felting, and that is what I fell in love with. I like to make things quickly. I like to design on the fly and let my materials guide me. And weaving, I love weaving too, but you have to have the whole thing planned out from start to finish. You have to have the measurement of your yarn like all done up beforehand. And with felting, I could just jump in and paint with it.
Yeah,
So,
you can create more freely.
yes.
Yeah, weaving, if you're bored with your design at the
Yeah.
the midpoint, you have to stick with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I've always been really passionate about making standout clothing too. When I was in high school, I took on this challenge of wearing a different outfit every day for the year. And so I I did a lot of thrift shopping and raiding friends' closets and things, and I drew the drawings of my outfits in my notebook so that I made sure I never wore the same one twice. So I always knew that I was very passionate about cloth and textiles and fabric and being able to manipulate and make that and I create wearable art so that I can give other people that opportunity too to stand out from the crowd and
Yeah,
yeah.
they're very as you said, like standout pieces. They're like jewelry, but in felt.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now so you made your practice more as a felt artist than as a weaver.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Um, I'm actually quite a slow weaver.
mhm.
Um, and so I found that yeah, felting was more economical for me. It was something that I didn't get bored or tired of. And so yeah, and with felting, I do all of the dyeing as well, and so I have a lot of area to play.
Wow! So all the colorful felts that I've seen, you've dyed all of this.
Yes.
Wow! I'm very impressed. And because preparing for the interview, I went on your Instagram page and on your website, and I was just amazed by all the talents you seem to have. Like you do everything, every craft, and even that's maybe not something in textiles. It's like a candle making and medicine making with growing your own flowers and everything. So I was really impressed, truly impressed. So you are really talented in lots of areas.
Oh,
But
thank
still,
you.
textile is a special place for you.
Yes. Um,
Hmm.
I this summer I had a baby, another baby. I have two, and so I have a 6 month old now, and so with COVID and everything, this was really the summer that I took off, or sorry, the year that I've taken off. All when the craft sales were canceled and the in-person workshops, I just sort of took this time to experiment and play and explore some of the other things that I've been a little bit passionate about, but have been kind of on the back burner. Um, anyway, so it's been a good time to experiment as well.
Yeah, and you can, because you know the shows are canceled, there are no classes. Like you have the time to dive into something else without the pressure of having to sell and to do this and do that, and so you can just really appreciate the discoveries and everything.
Yeah,
Hmm. And
yeah. So you go ahead.
sorry, I was going to ask if your kids like to craft with you sometimes.
Yes, sometimes they do. I've been doing a bit of more watercolor painting, sort of letting myself play with that, and my son will set up at the table and it'll distract him for a few minutes. Or he'll come into my studio. He takes my pins and he puts them in my ironing board.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, but I was saying that I've been doing some watercolors, but I realized that even my watercolors are textiles.
Or textiles
Yeah.
related, always somewhere in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
And so you graduated from the College of Craft and Design
Yes.
in Fredericton, and now you are back at school, but not for studying and for teaching.
Yes.
And what classes do you teach?
So this semester I am teaching the beginner felting class and the advanced felting class, and it's really wonderful. In my advanced felting class today, we were just working on samples. We're going to be doing some felted vests
Oh,
next week. So, oh, and I'm very excited. We've got a project coming up. We're going to be learning some three-dimensional techniques like having things that stand and a lot of three-dimensional texture. And I'm going to get the students to think about something good that's come out of COVID, whether personally or on a wider level, and maybe live. And they're going to make masks, felted masks. And
Ooh.
so I want them to sort of challenge that dichotomy. So they'll be making two masks, one that is the good and one that is the negative, but it'll all be in this three-dimensional felted form. So
Oh, that's
anyway, I'm
nice.
very excited about it.
Yeah, and it mixes the craft part with the more conceptual part as well. So it kind of it goes together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And at the
And
college, we do tend to focus a little bit more on the practical application. You know, we are training students to be able to production line and go out in the world and sell their work and make a living. But we do also have a little bit of room too to experiment with that gallery level work
Mhm.
and fine art conceptual level pieces too.
Yeah, it's nice to always have on the back of your mind to have like a not necessarily a purpose for creating, but just a drive or something that that you can put in your work because you
Hmm.
can make super pretty things, but it's always nice to know where it comes from and to have an intention maybe behind your craft. Hmm. And you also have a bookbinding class, if
Yes.
I'm correct.
So the bookbinding class is really like the complete opposite. It is the come to class, we're going to put on some music, we're going to cut some paper and sew up some books and not have very much homework and all go away feeling, you know, really, really good. And I think that the students are really enjoying that class.
Yeah.
Um, it's just a fun application. It's a class that it's an elective, so it crosses all of our studios. Anybody can take it, and so for our final project, one of the things that they're going to have to do is bring their in to that. So I know that in the past we've had ceramic students make their covers and back out of slabs or jewelry metal, same sort of thing. So anyway, it's a neat one, and it's not too onerous, and I think it's something that we just need this time of year too.
I so want to go study at your school.
Well,
I want to go back to school.
I'll do a little bit of a push here. Maybe you can. We're hoping that this year for our summer adventures, like our non-credit programming, or sorry, continued education, we're hoping to do a call for instructors to teach from all across Canada. To create some online courses in the fields related to what we teach, and likewise they will be marketed to anybody anywhere. So there may be, you know, that's one of the good things that's come out of all of this
Yeah,
is you know, we've got the skills, we've been practicing, learning and teaching online, and so we're looking to being able to connect people to some new opportunities and some new skills, maybe some more advanced things that we haven't been able to do by reaching a wider audience. So we're really excited
yeah,
about that.
that's very nice. And also because maybe all of these teachers or artists have their own community and then they join yours. And so it becomes a bigger and broader community. That's very nice. Yeah. And so you will be looking for teachers of all the classes you teach at the school. So ceramics, fashion, textiles, and everything. That's
Yep.
very nice. So it will make a very large competence.
Mhm.
It's very wide, you know.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's the first year we're doing it, and I'm the adventures coordinator. So we'll see what comes out of it. But I'm very, very hopeful and excited for what the summer will bring.
Yeah. Very cool. So we will stay tuned for this project, of
Mhm.
course. And in the link of the video, we will put all the information if people want to go subscribe or have more information on this program and your work as well and your classes and everything. So I hope 2021 has nice surprises for you in the bank. And I really hope you have a nice year and fingers crossed that we be able to see each other soon in the near future.
Yes, that sounds very good. You
Thank
too.
you very much, Anna. Have a nice night. Merci. Thanks, everyone.